Thank you, Bill. And thank you all very much. I wish I had the hair I had back then. While I'm getting situated here, there's got to be something in the water. Brother Casey and John Hosty look exactly like they did 35 years ago. It's amazing, amazing. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. They've only given me 45 minutes to speak. No, but anyway, I'd like to start by thanking the committee for considering and selecting me for induction. It's an honor and a very humbling experience considering the athletes, coaches, and teams that have graced this campus. I would like to offer my congratulations to my fellow 2009 inductees. Bill McCardle. I met Bill in the mid-'70s and have admired him ever since for the contributions he made to this school. Steve McConnell. I had the privilege of seeing him play up close during one of my coaching stints here. He was a great football player and a tremendous athlete. 76 and 77 soccer team. I wasn't lucky enough to see them play, but I think their record speaks for itself. I'd also like to congratulate the 2008 inductees, in particular Mike Janda, fellow classmate, a great all-around athlete and a good friend. I'd like to congratulate Steve Campbell as the 2009 Alumnus of the Year and Ignatian Award winner. He was a classmate of my brother Mark's, and he and his family have been friends of our family for 30 years, at least 30 years. Next, I would like to thank, and thank is not a good enough word, my parents, who are no longer with us, for their unwavering support and unconditional love. Though sometimes not deserved, it was always relied upon and cherished. They would have enjoyed this honor, I think, just as much or more than I have. I want to thank my brothers, Jerry and Mark, and my sister Susie for their love and support. Susie is a graduate of St. Agnes, and as most of you know, Jerry and Mark are straight Jesuit graduates and were accomplished athletes in their own right. They're all here tonight, and I greatly appreciate that. Finally, I'd like to, this was a surprise actually to me, thank Mr. Greg Hall and his wife Frances, for being here. Greg was at St. Thomas at the same time I was here at Jesuit, and we played against each other obviously in sports, and then he and I were teammates at Texas A&M. I want to thank my children, Joseph, Katie, Sarah, and Jill, and their mother, Allison, for being here. Thank you. In preparing for this evening, I had one recurring thought, and that is about the people that I came in contact with while attending Jesuit from 1965 to 1969, and later in two short coaching stints. In thinking about this, I was amazed. I should have thought about this a long time ago, but I was amazed at the absolute quality of people that I was surrounded by while here. That includes everyone. I mean, from the president down to cafeteria workers. It would take those 45 minutes I talked about earlier to name and thank all those who had a positive influence on me. I can't do that, but I am going to thank a few by name who had a profound effect. The first is Father Michael Alchidiak, who took an interest in me and the Sacra family as a whole, participating in many of our family events. Next, Father Philip Postel, a brilliant man and a family friend who officiated at my wedding. Father Chris Billack was and still is always available when needed, be it a problem at school, the baptism of a child, or the burial of loved ones. Father C.A. Leininger, prefect of discipline my junior and senior year, handled breaches of school policy, of which I was guilty on occasion. Not many. Handled these breaches of policy not in mean-spirited way, but with an eye to the welfare of the student. He was a class guy. Coach Tony Carr, as good a coach in many ways as I had in all the years in athletics, and this includes at the college and pro level. He was the reason I was able to play football at the level I did. Tommy Nolan and Jerry Martinez. They were able to have fun, even fun coaching, make it fun for the players for the most part, and still field championship teams. Great guys. Teammates and classmates. I'm going to name and mention a few of them. These are the people who helped me mature and attain levels athletically that only coming from the good kind of peer pressure can. Larry Keister, Mike Simpson, Mark Smith, Mike Conley, Bill Signet, Jim Dunn, Jim Branda, Kevin Kelleher. Then there were 5 teammates who had a more direct bearing on how well I performed as a football player. 4 of them, along with me, made up the defensive line during our senior football season. The first, Mike Doyle, played left defensive end, earned a scholarship to LSU, and started there as a true sophomore, which was unheard of at that time at LSU. They didn't start sophomores. I played left defensive tackle. Don Blair, who is here tonight, played right defensive tackle, earned a scholarship to University of Southwestern Louisiana at that time. I think it's University of Louisiana now. Became a 4-year starter and has been inducted into USL's Athletic Hall of Honor. Bob Dunn, right defensive end, multi-sport letterman whose varsity letter total was second only to Mike Zanda in the class of 1969. Bob O'Brien, nose guard, selected by the coaches as the most valuable lineman that year, and considering the competition he had, it was quite an honor. Bob was a hell of a football player. And they pressed me to higher performances. The 5th gentleman was quarterback Mike Janda, whose precise passing allowed me to shine offensively at tight end. These guys were not only excellent athletes, but also excelled in the classroom. I'm a little biased, but if there's been a better defensive line at this school than the one I just described, somebody's going to have to convince me of it. Obviously, in my case anyway, being inducted into the Hall of Honor cannot be considered an individual achievement. It is a sum of efforts of a lot of people, and as Strake Jesuit, that means the efforts of intelligent, ambitious, and selfless people. I mentioned earlier quality people, and that is what every organization strives for. Strake Jesuit does not just strive, they get it done, and have been getting it done year after year for 50 years. I applaud Father Lehart and Mr. Neville for their continuing of this tradition. I don't believe that there is a better education academically, athletically, emotionally, or spiritually to be had by a young man than at a Jesuit high school, and in particular, Strake Jesuit College Preparatory. This belief is evidenced by the fact that I, my 2 brothers, all of our sons attended or we have one are attending this institution. Thank you all very much. Yeah, thank you, Bill.
Yeah.